Okay, Noah, big win, expected win. Just what's your thoughts on the performance?
It's good to get some of our younger players in the game, getting them minutes. Played a lot, 17-year-old kids playing in the spine of the field. A lot of guys that haven't had any minutes all season and first minutes with the Roots. A lot of debuts tonight, so a lot of positives on that. Able to rest some guys as we did some rotation. Able to give Hackshaw some minutes, Tamaka some extended minutes. Kevin Wright extended minutes, Trayvon. So happy with giving some of the players some minutes and in a game that was intense.
Yeah, no, like you said, you guys mentioned that it's a big deal to bring on guys like Wright, Tamakas, Hackshaw in the offseason. This was your first extended look at them. Can you kind of tell us how you rated their performance, how you thought they did?
Yeah, I thought they did well. Did well. I think we made the game a lot more difficult than it should have been. But I thought, the end goal was accomplished. The guys won the first ever U.S. Open Cup in Roots history, And El Farolito, they have a lot of, veteran players that are savvy. These guys played in Europe. These guys played in national teams. These guys are former, pros. So, got to respect El Farolito of what they bring.
Do you feel like the team let down a little bit in the second half?
I think we were just trying to figure it out. I think a big part, if you look at that, is fitness. You know what I mean? So how many of these guys have played? We did as much as we can to get fitness in the preseason with games, but during the season, it's hard to replicate game minutes. So I think some guys got a bit tired, but we were able to push them through moments, and like I said, an intense game.
Hackshaw, like you said, 90 minutes, cleared a goal off of the line at the end there. Talk about him, what you think he brings to this team.
I thought he was solid. I don't think, trying to think of some of the errors, not much going on, very steady, very good in the air, very composed, great left-sided player, be able to play the balls out with his left. He got on the end of an attacking corner as well. So, I think you just saw his experience on the field. You can just kind of just passed on through the team. But I thought he had a good performance.
What was the message to the team at halftime? It was unfortunate to concede that penalty that made it 3-1, but what you wanted to see in the second half after that?
Yeah, I just wanted them. We talked about having a professional performance tonight with these guys, and if you look at these games, if it's 3-0 against somebody else or any other impact, what are your decisions in the last couple minutes of the half? So that was more, just decision making and take. Sometimes in these games you let down a bit, but I thought, coming out second half, just a couple adjustments here and there, but it wasn't too much.
What does the U.S. Cup mean to you? What does it mean to you?
To myself?
Yeah.
I just think it's the oldest tournament in the country, I believe. I think it's something that's super special. You're able to play games against opponents you would not necessarily play, even higher and lower divisions. Like I said, we got to make some rotation and see some minutes, but the deeper you go in the tournament, these are competition games, one-off games that could replicate playoffs and things like that. So, ideal goal would be the CONCACAF Champions League, get a spot there. So, one step at a time, of course, but having one-off kind of playoff games, I think, really bring out an intensity that it's not in the regular season when you have 34 games.
I think what this game showed is the amount of depth that's on the roster, which I consider a big improvement from last season. What's your thoughts on the depth and roster top to bottom?
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit last Saturday, I think, after the game, how deep we were at the bench. I had 3 full internationals on the bench, and I was able to bring, just Kevin, Tamakas, and Nabil that all played for the national team come in and play today. That's pretty lucky, pretty fortunate. So we are deep, and the young players are very quality. You got Trayvon, you got Drew Murray, you have Ethan Kohler, all those guys play good. Ryan Herr, Johnny Rodriguez. It's hard to say where's he at right now. He's flying. So very happy for him. Got him some extended minutes as well, and got Palai some time. So I think it's a lot of tough decisions moving forward.
Yeah, with Johnny, third goal, leading the team. Talk about him, how his quality is carried over from the preseason, like you described it.
Yeah, you can just see his sharpness, and it's a little bit of the confidence. After you score a goal or two, you're like, and then even in training yesterday, he was scoring a lot of goals. So, I felt he would have a good night. He had a good night. I haven't mentioned Wolfgang yet. Wolfgang playing right wing back as a left footer, and coming in scoring 2 goals, almost had a third at the end of the game. So, You know, that's how the competition on the team is.
And he moved around a bit too. Went from right back to look like a forward role. Talk about his versatility.
Yeah, versatility is important to us, especially with playing a lot of games. But he can play left wing back. He can probably play in the midfield as well. But we put him as a forward at the end of the game, a right forward. I think he can play that position. He scored a goal the other day in training in that position. So he had a good night.
So you guys already made it farther than last year in this Open Cup. I mean, what are you telling the guys in the locker room about like how far you want to go in this competition, like how you're approaching it?
Just sort of approaching it as a special opportunity. You know what I mean? Step by step, game by game. We'll see who we play next and go from there. I just talked about this team trying to make history. We beat New Mexico for the first time this weekend. Now we won our first Open Cup. So little things like this, as the club grows, the team grows.
Was there a little bitterness about last year with the trip to Greenville, and it seemed like you guys got a really rotten draw last year, and was that a motivator at all?
Yeah, a little bit. I think everyone has that in the back of their mind. We didn't bring that up, but you think about traveling across the country where we could have played a local game or at a home game. There's a lot of teams there, but it is what it is. Like this team, we'll deal with adversity.
Last word on Ryan Hurd. You guys name dropped him a lot during camp too. How'd you think he did?
He had some good moments. I think the physical fitness with him is getting those minutes are important. We pushed him a little bit. I thought he worked. He did some good stuff off the ball. So I think he had an okay night. Yeah.
Now you have to shift gears to another cross-country trip to the Eastern Time Zone against India 11. What do you think it'll take to get 3 points in that game?
A lot of hard work. The team, Indy's a very, very talented team. A very, very good midfield. They keep the ball for most of the game. So us, obviously we have film cut already. So we'll watch some film tomorrow, do some tactical work tomorrow, and then get on a plane.